Hi, and welcome to part 4 of the Using Splunk add-on for Citrix Cloud. In this part, I will demonstrate creating the virtual apps and desktops configuration log input, and then I'll share that example data as well. So these logs are a result of any configuration changes within the console. And if we look at the virtual apps and desktops configuration console here, and we're managing the policies, if we go ahead and make a change like enabling or disabling a policy, that would show up in the logging interface. So just generating some traffic. Now, if I go to the inputs on the add-on screen, I can create a new input, and we'll see here that we have virtual apps and desktops configuration logs. That's what we're after. So I'll go ahead and add that. And now if I select we'll give this a name like CVAD ops logs, and we'll select the account. This is that Citrix Cloud we set up in part 1. And now I will use that site that we set up in part 2. So we've got the Cloud XD site that we queried the information for. And then there's also a set number of intervals that we can pull this logging data for. This is actually dictated by the API itself. And so the more frequently that you pull this information, obviously the more frequently you'll have the data. However, the scheduling is imperfect. So this is not a checkpointed input. It just looks back for a certain amount of time. So if making sure to gather all the events is important to you, stretching out to something like the last hour, while it will reduce the frequency with which you get the information, it's more likely that you'll catch all the events in one big batch. For here, we're just going to go ahead and pull this every minute and end that up in the default index. Actually, I'll use 5 minutes and make sure we catch those changes. So I'll go ahead and click 5 minutes and add. So if we come back over to our search now and do another search, we should see we have a new source type. Here we have the Citrix CVAD config log operations. And if we look at that, we'll see, again, this is JSON formatted, and we can see there was a configuration change. I updated the HDX policy for enabling and disabling it. So you can see pretty easy to gather those operational logs. In the last part, we'll configure the runtime data collection. Thanks.